Hello everyone. My name is Kulwant Sandhu. I'm a PCC board member and also co-chair of San Francisco chapter. I have a pleasure to introduce you and spend some time with Mr. Arthur Kapoor, who is a trustee of Punjabi Chamber of Commerce. It's my pleasure to sit with him today and get to know about him, about his accomplishments, and also his vision for Punjabi Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Kapoor is a creative entrepreneur with 33 years of building financial, clinical, and operational platforms in a very complex industry, especially healthcare, because I also am in the healthcare process and organization. And it's very exciting for me to sit with him today to learn about what he has done in this space and also his philanthropic activities. That includes PCC member, actually trustee, that he's got his vision for us. And also he's founder of Eklavya, which is doing amazing work in India with 400 orphan kids to provide food and shelter for them, including medical and education, which is amazing. So, Mr. Kapoor, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, I think we'll jump right in. Just a little bit about myself. I am in San Francisco. I also work for a medical device company as the head of their supply chain. So, it's exciting times, as you can say, in the medical field. And you are doing an amazing. It piqued my interest to learn about you. I think we can start about first with just a bit about yourself, who you are and what your interests are besides work, then we can dig deep into that one a little bit.
Sure. That's a long question, but I'll try to give you who I am.
Sure.
Arthur Kapoor. Again, it's nice to talk to you guys. My I've been here since 1982 in US. I came, I did my MBA, and after that, again, I'm giving you a 30,000 snippet from it, 30,000 feet snippet. Uh, when I finished my MBA, there were not too many jobs for me, and I figured out something different, and have been a entrepreneur now since I would say 85, 86 time frame. Built and sold companies. I don't think I have worked for anybody since that time, and it's a different feeling, especially on a Friday when you have to make sure that your payroll has to go through. So when you're an entrepreneur, that's the biggest thing, is making sure that your employees are paid for. But besides that, it has been a very blessed way of doing things. I've been, all along this thing that I've met many, many nice people, and I look at India, especially Punjabis, being a Punjabi myself. I think it's something that this is good for the community and good for India. That's the way I see it, and I would like to contribute more to it in different ways. At the end of the day, when we came in the early 80s, very early 80s, um, there were no, we didn't have a support system in the US, um, which we have now. I mean, in those days, if your name was an Indian name, it was very hard to, and that's people like, me, Gary, we changed our names because it was, in those days, it was hard. I mean, we still have our original names, but it changed because now you could be Kulwant and it's okay. But before it was not easy, it was difficult. So I'm again dating myself, but when we go back to those days, it was hard. So you need to give back to the society. This is the way I see it. This country welcomed us with open arms, and they took us in. and they gave us a platform. They gave us, the best thing about America is that it lets you believe in yourself, and it lets you prosper. It lets you bloom so you can bloom. This is the greatest thing about this country. And you know, every day I wake up today, I still wake up and I say thank you, God, for being in this country, because it's an amazing place to be. I know, there's a lot of stuff that goes around where people say, "What is America?" But America is a beacon. It's a leader, and we should be proud of where we are. Having said of that, more of, let me also say again, what is, I'm an entrepreneur. I build companies. I take. I'm not a. I don't know what goes into that secret sauce, but I know how to create a secret sauce. So I bring good people together, and I let them do what they can do the best. That is my basic mantra.
Well, that's amazing, Arthur. That is called leadership, right? That the secret sauce you mentioned is a leadership, right? How do you, one, you learned how to create something, and after creating, you have a vision that you give it to other people who join you, and you make you successful, your new entrepreneurship, right? So I think that is the secret sauce, and you still appreciative of the environment we are in. We left our country to come here. Absolutely, I can relate to that because I was exposed to England as well before migrating in early 90 here, 1990. So yeah, you're absolutely right. People trying to change your name, and they ask me, "Oh, can we call you Kate or Katie?" No, I'm Kulwant. You gotta call my name, right? So it's an adjustment, and they don't know. Most people still don't know what Punjabi is. They probably now know who Indians are, but they don't know who
Mhm.
Punjabis are. It's even in Bay Area, although we have a lot of community here, but it's still not widely known, right? So it's amazing to see that you are also putting yourself out there to help even people migrating today as well. And I felt the same way that we didn't have resources then to help and where to go, even for professional advice. So it's nice you providing that platform to our community.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. And so what is I know it's America is about a lot of long hours of work, literally. So what do you spend your favorite pastime as? Do you have any hobbies or anything you like to do besides just working?
So that's a very good question. I am not a golfer, so I don't golf. I'm not a, I don't know what is the right word. I enjoy traveling. I I go visit exotic places. I love to dive in water. I love to do that. So if I get an opportunity, I would like to do that. Um, I am a very keen enthusiast of activity, which means exercise. I believe in that. I run about close to 20 miles a week, and I spend a lot of time in the gym. And as you get older, you realize that what you could do 10 years ago, you can't do anymore. So it makes more sense to spend time in the gym. And so that's one of my passions. I don't play tennis. I don't play golf. So those things are out. But I do run. I lift. I I eat healthy. I love red wine. That's my favorite. And I collect wines. Um, I also collect art, and especially Indian contemporary art. I'm a big collector for that. I like to. And last but not the least, I think I'm a Netflix guy or a Amazon Prime guy. I like to binge watch. So if you ask me, what do?
Yeah.
I can binge watch. I can do those things. I love to watch TV. I love. So if somebody tells me that, oh, TV, I'm not a big guy into playing cards or things like this, and I'm not playing board games, but boy, I love to watch Netflix, and I think that's the best creation we have. Amazon Prime and Netflix, they just bring everything out every day. So, yes, that's my weakness. Um, but besides that, I mean, traveling. If you, I mean, if I have, I think I travel with my passport every day. It's in my briefcase. So if needs have to be, I can get on a plane right away. I'm that kind of impulsive guy when it comes to. I'll tell you a story. How much travel is important, or what I think it's for me. I was coming back from work one day from New York City, and this is 1989. And it was in New York City that I was coming back from, and I was driving past New Jersey Turnpike. I don't know if you remember, or if you've seen New Jersey Turnpike in New Jersey. And I was coming back, going home, and suddenly I saw a big sign by Newark Airport saying Lufthansa, $99 fare to go to Berlin,
Wow.
1989. I saw that sign and it says special fare, and I thought, hold on a minute, isn't this the time when the wall is supposed to be, there was a, there was a talk about Berlin Wall and all that stuff. So I said, this is the time when the tanks were going to roll in. Um, and I don't know what impulse happened. I just took a exit and to come to the airport. And I knew there was a friend of mine, Stanley, who was behind me, also coming back. We both lived in New Jersey and we worked in New York City. And I remember, and I said, and I had that in 1989, 88, I had gotten that phone installed in the middle of the console, and the wire had to run from all the way back. The cell phone, it was a big Oki Data CDL 410. I still remember that. And I called Stanley. I said, Stanley, where are you? He says, and that was another guy who used to walk with his, or he used to have a passport in his briefcase. In fact, I learned from him. So I called him and I said, Stanley, where are you? He says, I'm approaching Newark Airport. I said, hey, look at the sign. It says $99 to go to Germany, Berlin. And while we were speaking, he said, yeah, I see that. I said, do you want to go to Berlin? I mean, to go to Germany? He says, now? I said, yeah. He says, okay. He took a turn. We both met in the parking lot at Newark Airport. We parked our cars. We didn't have any clothes. Just took our passport, whatever we needed to do for my, thing. We had some cash on us, and we walked in. And I mean, in those good old days, you could just walk in and get a ticket and get on a flight.
Yeah.
We bought Yankees and Mets clothes from the airport store, and hat and a jacket because we figured it was going to be cold, but we were not prepared. Um, and we picked up a toothbrush and a kit, like a vanity kit, and we took that, and picked up a bag to put everything in, and we got on a flight. Flight was in 1 hour. We landed in Berlin in the morning. I mean, some like 4 o'clock time frames. I still remember it was dark. And we had no idea. We had no booking. We had no hotel booked. There was a challenge. That was impulsive. And I still remember going from there, finding a hotel, and we found a hotel where it said bathroom. It didn't say the bathroom was down the hall. Common bathroom in those days, a pensione. So that's where we stayed. And so I love traveling. The point was and when the Berlin Wall came down, that night there was a concert. I don't know if you remember, and um, it was Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton. They all performed that night, And then the East German tanks rolled in,
Yeah.
and we all thought, oh my God, they're going to fire at us. And then I don't know if you remember, they all brought the turrets
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
and the crowd was jubilant. It was raining, it was cold, it was raining. Um, I still remember the only warm spot for us, we climbed onto the tanks and we got inside the turrets. That was warm.
That is
And
amazing.
I still remember that. And we were passing drinks around because it was so cold. You didn't know the next guy to you, and he passed a drink and you drank it, and he gave it back, the flask back to him. You had no idea what was in the drink. They could have given you
Wow.
anything. But
Wow.
boy, we were all drunk, and right in the morning, everybody raced towards the Berlin Wall, and we got a piece of that wall. I still have it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's still there. So when you talk about travel, I love traveling. Now, there are
Yes,
many things you will learn from this. One thing
absolutely.
that you learn from this is always be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, go to exotic places, go to places which make history or where history is being made.
Yeah.
Always do that. Number three, uh, I mean, as we get older, obviously our needs become more, but try to live with less needs, or you should be easy to get along with things, and have a, a bend of mind where you can do things on a mode where you can enjoy life. Life will, what I saw in '89, that Berlin Wall, not many people would have seen it. Now, that was just an impulsive reaction on my side to go and take that trip. But what I did was I became a part of the history, right?
Yeah.
I can
Exactly.
tell my grandkids about this.
Exactly.
They will
You.
ask me, you did that? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, isn't that what your grandparents told you? I was part of this, I was part of that. So learn to be impulsive and get to see exotic places and get to enjoy life. That's life. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. What an amazing story, Arthur. Thank you for sharing. This is amazing. That's exactly where I wanted to go to learn about you, to say, okay, you're an entrepreneur. That tells us you're taking risk. And this is another part of that. You take risk and you figure it out and you enjoy life. Right. So that's what it's about. And you
Mhm.
have the history with you, right? Doesn't matter the piece of wall is there with you or not, but it is with you in
It's
your
going to
memory.
stay with
It's gonna stay with you, and you're gonna pass it on to your next generations. What an amazing
me.
story to share with everyone. And then, if we can take that to your professional life, to say, what were the low points? Because entrepreneurship is not easy either. I know you figured it out, but maybe early days story where you felt that things are not going your way, you have low points, and now, of course, you learn over time how to turn them into high points of your career. So if you don't mind sharing something like that, that would be great.
Well, Kulwant, this is a constant work in progress. It's an experiment. If somebody ever told you entrepreneur is being, it's easy to become an entrepreneur, it's not.
It's not, no.
Entrepreneurs take risk. They they take heavy risks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can hurt them. Uh, One thing you have to have is think of your client not as a client, but think of them as a partner. So make them partner in your progress. Today, I still have people that I can pick up the phone and talk to who were my clients in way back in 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You never, you should never be a a person selling them something. You should always be a person working to understand what their needs are and what you can do to mitigate their problems. It's all about solving problems. So low points are, many times they're low points. You feel hopeless. You say, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have a problem. The big thing in that is always be honest to the client and tell them that I got a problem. We are scared of telling them that. When we are scared, it becomes worse. Tell your problem to your client or partner, which I say client should never be looked as a client, it should be a partner. And tell them this is what you're facing, and they will understand that. In fact, they appreciate honesty more than anything else. So be honest to your clients, tell them your issues. Don't be scared that they're gonna, when they find out this, they're gonna throw you out. They might appreciate that you have the decency and the guts to come and tell them that. So we face this every day. Entrepreneurs face this every day. I face it in my business. I'm sure every entrepreneur has something. But when, I'll tell you what happens, when I look at it this way, and this is the way the life is. When you see a problem or when you see an obstacle, just remember I go by that saying, winners don't do different things. And mark my words, winners don't do different things. They just do it differently. So when somebody says, how are you a winner? I'm not a winner. I just refuse to accept that I'm not a loser. I'll keep working harder. Entrepreneur is 99% hard work, 1% luck. That's what an entrepreneur is. I know people will tell you, you have to be lucky. I get that. It's a lot of hard work. Some people, oh, you know what? I didn't see you working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every night. No, that's wrong. An entrepreneur is always working.
We're always
He
working.
might not be sitting on the desk. He might not be sitting in the office, but he's always working. He or she's always working.
Yeah.
Why? Because their work never stops.
Yep.
So low points, yeah, tons of them. You worry about, oh my God, what am I going to do tomorrow? No, this client is going to need me. Figure out a way. Always remember one thing, have honesty, be truthful to them, to your clients, and tell them the issues. And hopefully surround yourself with good people. I always believe in that. If you surround yourself with people who make you look good, they got to be good. That's why they make you look good. Don't surround yourself with people who just keep telling you, oh my God, what a great person you are.
Yeah.
Talk to people and make them feel that there are people who are, they have to be brutally honest to you.
Mhm.
So surround yourself with good people. They're going to make you look good. Don't do different things. Do it differently, and be honest and truthful to the clients and the partners. When I say clients, always partners. And with your customers, you've got to have the relationship where they can understand where you're coming from. 99% of the times we believe in, let's not tell this to the customer. Wrong. Tell it to the client. Tell it to the customer. It's go a longer way. So yes, we always have low points. The ones who overcome are the ones who are winners.
I totally agree with you. So I'm being in the supply chain. I deal with global, many companies, big giant companies, and then entrepreneurs, right? Who are small companies, owners. And in the last 2 years, I can see like everybody's going through tough times of whatever reasons, different reasons, labor shortage or material shortage or whatever those are. And guess what? The ones, you absolutely right when you say partnership and honesty, I call it transparency. So the ones are transparent and we're holding hands with those guys. There's a relationship. We know it's tough time. We know we'll get through this and being a partner. So I also treat it as okay, that honesty we appreciate and the transparency we appreciate that we will get through this. We'll help them out. It's a low point for now, but these guys will be there for us when they get out of this mode. Right. So you're absolutely right. That is literally a secret sauce to get through those low points to become successful.
Good.
Right. I appreciate that. And thank you. And then I think if you think about Punjabi Chamber of Commerce, it would be nice to see. I know we know we all in it to help the community to give back, but it'd be nice to see what your vision is for this chamber. When you think about Punjabi Chamber of Commerce, what is in Arthur's mind to and a vision? What do you like to see this chamber to accomplish?
Okay. Um, Listen, Punjabi Chamber of Commerce is a platform of like-minded Punjabis, which started as basically a drinking thing, getting together on a Punjabi thing, right? But it became bigger. I think Punjabi Chamber of Commerce is a platform for folks who are role models to teach the youngsters what needs to be done to become better. It should be a platform for people to meet and learn. It should be a platform to instill the, the warmth, the pride of being a Punjabi. It should make us a force to reckon with. Listen, Gujaratis have done it,
Yeah.
Tamils have done it, Telugus have done it, Tana, everywhere. Punjabi didn't do it. Our problem is Punjabis love to, they're the biggest heart. They're the biggest heart. They love to help people. They love to help a person in need. They love to live life the king size. They love to drink. They
Yeah.
love to eat. Right? All those things we do.
Yeah.
One thing we don't do is we don't stand together. Um, I've always said this, and this again goes back to being Indian. There are two Indians in a room, and there are two Jewish people in a room. The Jewish people will disagree in the room, but when they get out of the room, they're on the same page.
Yeah.
Two Indians will agree in the room. Yes, yes. When they get out of the room, they totally disagree. It's the opposite. So what I'm trying to tell people is learn to become one, stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and Punjabis are blessed with this. Only thing is we need to get past our ego, get past our big heart, get past all those small, all conquerable things, things you can conquer, and help people. There are a lot of people who need your help. Touch them, give it back to them. Punjabis have the biggest heart, and we should use it to help other people, which is what I mean. In the in the pandemic, not last, in the pandemic, we tried to do a lot of things for the community. That's all good things to do. I think we should make it bigger by bringing more business leaders into it, let them teach or um, talk about their experiences so that everybody else can learn. I might have one part of it, but there are other people who have a lot more to offer. So they should come in, groom youngsters to become the next leaders, and lead by example by telling them what can be done. Um, we have to help Punjabis. There are so many kids who come here, smart kids. They go to Harvards and the Yales and the likes of it. Help them become the next Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been blessed. I've always said, your prayers and thank God for what you got, but give it back. Bring them the next level and tell them what they can do to make their lives better. That's what we need to do. So Punjabi Chamber of Commerce should become a global diaspora where we can enrich the new breed, the new youngsters, and this becomes a platform for Punjabis to transact and learn. This should have a presence everywhere. This should have Punjabis who are looking for identity to come to this. Once they have identity, they'll feel they're part of a fabric. That's what you need to provide. And what you're doing in San Francisco is good. There are a lot of other people who are doing it in other parts of the world. Amazing. This is what you need to do is to make this an all-inclusive. I'm not talking about, tomorrow to bring everybody else into it. It should be a platform for Punjabis.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
We are the lions. We are the kings. Singh is a king, right?
Singh is
I mean,
king.
not everybody's a king, but hey, we can all aspire to be. And that's what we need to.
Absolutely.
Hope that answers.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Love it. I think I love the vision. And I think you're absolutely right. I also view it as it's a platform for us to give back, right? Especially who are all blessed, have gone through our journey. I totally agree. My focus is also one, connecting the professionals. So we're running a lot of different campaigns here and doing aggressively some webinars to bring the content to the young generation. And the second piece is for me personally, is giving back to the young women in our community, because that's where I see that still there's families that won't like their daughters to get out and be part of the success in America, right? Or anywhere in the globe. Some are global issues, others are maybe local. So right now, for example, in my chapter, we are focusing on local needs, but certain things are global for our community that we can all contribute towards.
Mhm.
So I absolutely agree with you, and amazing insights to your vision and yourself. What a wonderful person and what a wonderful journey you have. And thank you for sharing that. And I love to hear that whatever last show you binge watched, because I'm also in a lot of TV that gives my mind off of things when I sit there. Okay, let's binge watch something good that I don't have to think about work right now. So anything.
Sometimes people ask me this question. Oh, what are you going to do on the weekend? I said, you know what? I'm going to heal my wounds. So they say, oh, you have wounds? So I said, yeah, I get hammered on 5 days. So maybe on the weekend I'll get a little bit of recovery time. So
Exactly.
what do I need for my recovery time? I need to do some TV.
Me time. I call it me time. I don't need to think
That's
about
right.
anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much. Any last words, Arthur?
You guys are doing a good job. Continue with these sessions and get to learn from more business folks. I'm just a small cog in this wheel, but you guys need to talk to other people who are trustees, and hopefully they can share a lot more than I did. And it is always good to learn. As I said, we life is a learning process. Keep imbibing, and keep yourself head to the ground and learn and become a better person. That's all you have to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Take care.